This is NATV Radio. We're going to be getting into something really juicy for you today. We got a couple of gentlemen that are coming your way to shed some light on mental health. Mental Health Month here. Tumultuous childhood and a whole lot more we're going to be discussing. You're going to enjoy this. Totally enjoy this. We hope you enjoy NATV Radio, a different way for you to receive and enjoy mental health. Let's see, Bill, I know you're out there somewhere, Bill.
I'm here.
Yeah, there he is, man. I love it. I can hear you, my friend. And let's see, Bill, you brought along somebody that's very familiar to the channel. I know you're out there somewhere. So I see. Is he there? Is
Leon?
Right there he is. I was to say, there he is. I know he's there somewhere.
He's probably somewhere eating, man. This guy loves to eat.
I know he ain't talking.
Hey, let me tell you something. Bill, I think you're right, man, because he was in the kitchen before we got started. So,
right?
Got food all around his face.
I'm a foodie.
You're a foodie?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Bill, tell me something.
Yes, sir.
Who's Billy Goat?
Man, why you bring that up? Billy,
okay,
Billy,
save it for
Billy
the book.
Goat.
They can buy the book. No, go ahead.
Billy Goat is something that I didn't even know about. So it actually happened with Leon writing the book, sitting down with my mom before she passed, rest in heaven, that she started telling her how I used to ram her ribs at only 6 months old.
He did.
Which actually sets up to what happened later on to me at birth, but I used to ram her ribs like a billy goat.
She was mad at him before he was even born, she told me.
Why were you hurting your mom like that? Me jamming? Is that ability, did that ability help you endure some of the trials that you've gone through?
You know, I don't know. I would say from years 1 through 10, it probably didn't, because when something traumatic like that happens to you, you're just worried about being different and why me? But obviously I've honed that, and that's the other side of mental health and working on. People think mental health is people in white jackets wrapped up and a doctor, bringing you back to life. No, a lot of times it's what you do internally to help the doctor. Think about it. When you go in the office, the first thing the doctor tells you is what's wrong. So they don't know. And I'm not knocking the profession, but they need your help. And that's what really got me over with all the things that I went through. When I say tumultuous, it came from within. Now, granted, they helped, but a lot of it came from just falling and getting my butt up by my daggone self.
And you're pretty much a person, Bill, who, the best way to describe it, actually, I'm going to take something that I saw from the presser. You were surrounded by trauma and pain that most kids would never endure or even experience in their lifetime. Let's start giving a timeline or laying out, because we're not going to give the book away to everybody that's listening. We love all of you that have been loyal subscribers and followers to the channel, but this is a juicy bit. You're going to enjoy having Bill here with us today. Start to lay out this trauma and what you've experienced. And everybody, if you want the meat of it, you're going to need to get the book. The book is not going to be out till later. We'll get into that.
Man, listen, Leon said it.
You go ahead and lay it out, man. Go ahead and lay it out for everybody.
Leon said it best. My mom, he was joking, but he was serious because of all the pain I caused her. It was a two-way pain. Like he said, she was frustrated with me before I was even born. So let's go way back to Cleveland, Ohio, 1966. Before I was even born, at 5-6 months, at a normal checkup, they thought I was already full size. They were like, this guy's going to be a whopper. And for those of you who don't know it, there's only 1% of all babies born natural over 10 pounds. So who wants to take a guess and how big I was? Wasn't 11 pounds, so that percentage goes down. Wasn't 12 pounds, that
Wow.
percentage goes down. I was 13 freaking pounds and 1 ounce,
Good God.
born all natural, no C-section.
Yeah.
All natural. No C-section.
Nope.
Yeah, it was bad, man. And, you know, if you really want to get descriptive, imagine every woman on here that's been in labor. I think we had over 20 hours of labor. My mom flatlined twice. The biblical cord wrapped around my neck. I flatlined. I was breech born, meaning my feet was coming out. And Leon, you can add into that. Instead of them pulling me out where they knew there was going to be some upper extremities, they folded me over. Imagine your baby, the distress of actually being folded over by the doctors intentionally. We call it malfeasance. It was wrongdoing. I mean, you know, I get emotional when I hear this stuff. And my mother never told me this. She shielded me from this.
She did, thanks. She told me, me and Bill's mother have always been close. And before I met Bill, I met his mother, because it's another story in the book about how I met Bill, or why I even went to his house. He lived maybe 14 houses down from me. And a situation happened. I talk about it in the book that prompted me to go to his house. I was a bully, kind of, sort of, at that age. I was short, but I was thick. And something happened. So I met his mother, and they'll see it in the book, but I met his mother before I met him. And she said, yeah, this is what she told me. She said, yeah, go in the backyard. You can't miss him. And I was like, what does she mean by that? Oh, and then when I went in the backyard, Bill was advanced at 9 or 10 years old athletically. So we never even saw his right arm. It was like, man, we feel sorry. No, when we saw how he was playing sports, and that's in the book too, we just never saw him as different, ever.
It took a lot of hard work, man. You know, there's an old story. People don't know your story until they know your glory, or vice versa. There was a whole lot of days practicing making just a layup, how to dribble, how to get past somebody, because I just wanted to compete. I just wanted to be a part of. You see a professional athlete, you think he's gifted because he can run fast. A lot of those guys spend a lot of time alone honing their craft. With me, it wasn't about making millions and getting off the street of the ghetto. We didn't have aspirations of being pro ball players back then. We just wanted to not get shot,
participate,
not get killed. East Cleveland right now is listed as one of the most depressed, not only economically, but as crime-wise, in the nation.
At what point did you see yourself, I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to compete, I'm going to be a part of this? 5 years old, 6 years old?
And I would say when it was, and that's an absolutely great question, which ties into me saying people don't know what you went through. All it took for me, imagine this, guys, going out to play and not getting picked to play with your friends just because you look different.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, I just want to be picked. We used to do something called strings, and no strings. Imagine guys going to a basketball court, and for those that play sports, or mothers who sat and watch your kids sit on the sideline, imagine them not getting in the game. Well, take it one step further. It wasn't even about not getting in the game, not even getting picked to be on the team. Can you imagine that as a 6-year-old kid?
Picked to sit on the
bench. Come on, man. That's what fueled me to get out there. I just wanted to be picked. I just wanted a T-shirt from the YMCA that said Aiden on the back. If I never got in the game, I was cool because I was accepted.
You were at least seen and heard and picked.
So all it took was me a couple times not getting even picked.
Ticked you off, huh?
Come on, man. It almost felt like getting folded over again. And even though I'd never experienced it, my mom shared with me every time she whooped my butt. And for you parents out there that believe in discipline, every time my mother whooped my butt, she told me what she went through, flatlining, dying, 20 hours of labor. And then your mother's out there. You're gonna love your kid regardless of what they look like. But imagining what she went with after that, when they sent my butt home, and they never told us what was wrong with my arm. That's where the malfeasance come in. Forget malpractice. Malpractice means you tried to do something, or you gave the wrong amount of cc's of medicine. You made a mistake. But willingly to send me home, a child, and you knew my clavicle was broken, you knew I had nerve damage. Imagine what my mom went through to feel like somebody that she trusted in did that to her and knew I would suffer a lifetime. That's just compounding emotion. And so my mother had to live with that. Then imagine they lied to her and told her because she was diabetic, you're going to have a big baby. I mean, hats off go to my mom. She dealt with several layers of just pain on top of wrongdoing by the people that she trusted.
And Pat,
Yeah,
what Bill, he found out from me after I interviewed his mother in 2017, 2008, 2019. We actually had lunch together. He paralyzed her when
eating again, y'all. He had lunch with her.
Hey,
he's always eating. He's always eating, Bill.
Yeah.
The man is addicted to food. Go ahead.
But listen, she was paralyzed. He paralyzed his mom when they tried to deliver her because even though they folded him over, his shoulders they had to because his shoulders were too wide. He was breech born, but his shoulders were extremely too wide to come through the birth canal. And so they folded him up. Not only folded him over, it didn't work. It worked to get him out, but it still paralyzed his mom. She was paralyzed for, I think, 4 to 5 days, couldn't move, couldn't lift her arm up to eat, couldn't drink. She didn't even know. She was awake, but she didn't know that she couldn't move. She was paralyzed. So that came back. And like Bill said, the Billy Goat part being tough, the doctor specifically told his mom, yeah, we pretty much folded your son over, and he didn't even cry. It was like they was paying attention more to his toughness as opposed to the damage that they caused. So the fact that he didn't cry or wince or anything, and they sent him home, she didn't realize that his arm had been damaged until 1 or 2 months after he left the hospital. So his dad tried to get him to drink his milk in his right hand, hold his bottle with his right hand, and his arm just flopped down. That was it. And that's when they noticed it. But that was almost 2 months after he had been delivered and he was at home. Bill is a dark-skinned man, so his arm was dark. It was purple, but you couldn't see the bruises. You couldn't see the discoloration. Yeah, so people go, well, how could they not see it? Well, he's dark, his arm is dark, but he just never used his right arm. And so he started off, he might have been right-handed, but he was forced to use his left hand. So mental health-wise, he was forced to switch over and learn something new at 2 hours of being born, at 2 months of being born. He had to use his left hand because his right arm just wasn't working, and he was probably born right-handed.
So now you have the use and the only use of your left arm.
Oh, it gets worse, Pat.
I'm going to drop this in before you go. I'm going to drop this in and then go ahead and continue what you're going to say. I'm going to say this for everybody listening. The name of the book is If I Can, You Can. Go ahead, Bill, please.
Yeah, now that I just think about it, the raw memories of it, it gets worse. So even though I've only had the use of my left hand, the surgeon who operated on my right hand and left hand said my left hand, which we consider the good hand, is 114 years old, and I'm only 57 years old. Good. And the reason he said it is because I've had to use my left hand twice as much as anyone else because I couldn't use my right hand. So right now, as I sit here with you guys, they've operated 4 times on my good hand. Do I feel sorry for myself? Absolutely not. You do what you got to do, but it's not like overcoming the issues with my right hand and saying, well, I got another hand, right? Overcoming your senses. No, this left hand has been through hell and back. And, I'm dealing with that as well now. But would I trade my story for anybody else's? Did I go through that time of saying, why me? Absolutely. But right now, the book, If I Can, You Can, really is a testament of a medical miracle. And I went through 45, 50 years of just saying, I'm me. I was captain of the football team. I
Wow.
was homecoming king in a school that had 2,000 kids. That's what my peers
Man.
thought about me.
Hmm.
But the reality is, I shouldn't have been here, and it took Leon, the co-author, my friend, to keep bugging me saying, man, you got a book.
Got to tell the
And
story.
all it took was him sitting down with my mom, and he can tell you verbatim what she said. But it's because he told me my mom said the story has to be told is why I went forward. Otherwise, I didn't care about writing a book. I didn't care about none of that because now I have a son and I'm putting all my energies into him. But I'm so glad that I did because this book is going to help youth. We're already talking to 361 school districts. This book is going to help the parents that are on here. I tell you, hats off to a parent who has to take care of a special needs child.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's so many things you have to do. I had asthma. I had the only room in the house with 5 kids that had a regular Florida air conditioner. So imagine my brothers and sisters being jealous. But my mom said, look, this is what he needs to survive.
Yeah.
This book is going to help the medical community. They're always faced with decisions on what they should do. And we have the number one or the top. It gets crazy, guys. Leon and I interviewed Dr. William Seitz, the number
No way.
top,
Cool.
the number top 5
Hmm.
orthopedic surgeon in the world. He was my doctor. And so he's a part of this book because he had to come up with a procedure. Dub, you remember the name of it? The Dirac something?
The rock procedure. I think it's Russian or something like that.
Yeah, it was a procedure they had to make up. And listen to this, guys. Between that procedure and some of the other surgeries, I've had $1 million worth of procedures and apparatuses, staples in my arms. Is that crazy? Y'all remember that show, The $6 Million Man?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
me.
Right. Look at you. Listen, I'm looking at. I gotta throw this in here real quick. Much love to you, Eric, for stopping by this morning. Eric says the fire within, enduring passion. He's throwing out some encouragement to you. You can read it there for yourself. Again, the book, everybody, is If I Can, You Can. Thank you, Eric. Eric is one of our regular supporting subscribers.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
Eric.
it. I want to touch on this. Your journey shows that you put courage first, vulnerability first. You struggled and gained victories in many different ways. How has this affected, if you had to say, how has it affected your mental health?
Hold on, Bill, before you answer that, Pax. I sent you a picture of his right hand, the x-rays. Bill, he skipped over that. That's fine. I want him to answer that question, but his doctor met with me for the first time. What was that, Bill? In April, March?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, and so he gave me full disclosure to the inside of his hand. I sent you the picture. If you can post it up, maybe it's creepy, and even to see it, I didn't even know what hardware he had in his hand, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude! It's just knowing what's in his hand, knowing what's in his left hand, screws and plates, and know what's in his right hand. But when you see it, it's like, dang, you got to live with that stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to grab
So
his hand when I was a kid. I used to grab his hand all the time. It was cold. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
I've lost 3 girlfriends over the last 30 years because my arm keeps going off in the metal detectors and it takes us too long to fly. So
Stupid.
Do you fly anymore? Because we just talked about you coming out to Cali. So do you fly anymore, or you gonna drive from Cleveland?
hey, if you ready for the TSA to pull us to the side like we smuggling something,
Like
I'm
you
coming.
smuggling something. Like you
Right.
smuggling something. Eric in the chat says, thank you. It's an honor to hear the message. And you made him laugh on that one. Oh, and so anyhow,
Appreciate you, Eric.
when it comes to your mental health, part of the presser says whether facing mental health issues, learning disabilities, or the myriad obstacles that life presents, speaking of you, Bill, his story is a clarion call to never give up, to find strength within, and to believe in the possibility of overcoming. Talk about that a little bit more for those that are struggling just to get out of bed and beyond. some words of advice to them.
You know, and this isn't cliche, as I kind of made this up. Mental health can be looked at like a backache, right? Some people backaches, they can't move. Some are using it to get out of work. Some are using it to get disabilities. Some you have to go to physical therapy and it's reversible. Some is chronic. You know, my mental health was all that I knew. Imagine, I didn't have my hand cut off at 12 years old. This is what I was born into. And so my mental health, to me, even though I'm saying it was easy, when I say easy, it was easier to move forward than to give up because I had nothing else. I was a kid. Again, all I wanted to do was play. All I wanted to do was be able to pick up a fork and eat right. I didn't want to be called out or ostracized. So any of you guys that's dealing with mental health, if you heard it, it's like anything else, is what you put to it, because nobody has the antidote. Nobody has the pill. Nobody has the right acupuncture. Nobody has the right mental capacity to tell you if you do this, you're going to be well. You just have to do it yourself. The biggest way to eat an elephant is what? One bite at a time. And that's what I did. I wanted to play first. Then I wanted to be picked on the team. Then I wanted to get some playing time. Then I wanted to beat the heck out of the person across from me so that I get picked first the next time. And from there, it just steamrolled. Again, I was captain of the football team. Who does that with one hand? Baseball, Leon will tell you, I was able to catch the ball with a glove on my left hand, but you can't throw the ball with the glove on. So I had to put it up under my arm in one motion without the ball coming out, reach back all while looking at where the runner is, pull the ball out, drop the glove, and throw the person out. And I could do that in milliseconds.
Y'all messing with the
Hey,
wrong
Pax.
dude. Messing
No,
with the
yeah,
wrong
Pax.
dude. I know you in Cleveland. I know you're in Ohio, but I'm throwing you some high fives right now. I see everybody. You guys are listening to us, but see, I can see him right now. I can see, dude.
Hey,
It's good to
Pax.
see that smile on your face. By the way, if everybody wants to know, you guys going to be able to see this again. I mean, hear us again. We're going to do a podcast at some point, but right now we're just doing straight radio where you can't see us. But go ahead, man. Nancy, by the way, Nancy's telling you some love too. Go ahead.
Leon, Pax is picking on me. You're going to fall out, Leon, because he didn't say, I'm going to give you the two-hand high five. He only giving me with the one hand a high
You
five.
want to do that? See, Leon,
terrible.
Leon done warned me about you before he even sent me the thing. See, you've been messing with him this whole time, and now you're gonna turn on me. I see how it go. I'm not messing with you. I give you toes up. I give you toes up too if you want to go down that road.
But you know
there
what?
You go.
Going back to what Bill was saying about baseball, it was about 100 kids, maybe 150 that showed up to play, and a couple of us looked at Bill like, how the hell he gonna play baseball? And he wound up being on the championship team, helping them win the championship 2 years straight.
There it is.
I think he was 11. And him talking about, I used to watch him like, how the hell, the coach would hit him balls out in the center field, and he would catch it, and they timed him. It's in the book. They timed him. He caught the ball. He would grip it with his mouth. Sometimes he snatched it off with his mouth, and I remember that. Or he snatched the glove off with the crease of his right arm, snatch it off, and then put the ball back in his left hand and throw people off from center field. His arm, that's in the book too. They tested the strength of his arm, which was off the charts. Now, keep this in mind that they tried to get his mother to amputate his arm over and over and over again. And she told them no. She said, you guys will read about my son one day. That's what she said. This was in maybe 1970. They started wanting to amputate his arm. And I think it stopped growing when Bill was, in the 9th grade, Bill?
Yeah.
So he became one of those kids that was last to be looked at until he started winning, and he was the first.
Until he got everybody's attention, huh?
Yeah, then he was the first to be selected. So people like, you got Bill. There's no need to be playing now. We're playing 505. It was like he was two to three people because he was taller than us. And
how tall are you, Bill? How tall are you?
I'm about 6'5" right now.
Hey, do me a favor, Bill. I'm going to put something up. Give a shout out. I kind of went through it, but I'm going to put it back up. Nancy was telling you, I love the passion I hear in this conversation. Very inspiring. Go ahead. You can
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Nancy.
And Eric's showing some love too. He's agreeing with that as well. Hey, look, I'm going to read something to you that's a part of the presser that you guys sent me. Bill would like to stop in your community to make a difference where it matters most. Talk to some of these communities that will hear this many times over. YouTube's a global channel. What would you say to those communities?
Build it and it'll come. You build it and it will come. I went to Shaw High School in East Cleveland, which is in the book. And 2 months ago, lo and behold, Kyrie Irving, all pro basketball player for Dallas, who has Cleveland roots, came up to my gym, to the school, to talk to the kids. And he didn't come up to show them how to dribble. He didn't come up to tell them what to eat. He didn't come up to tell them to practice. Guys, guess what he told them? He talked about mental health. And
Bingo.
it just, I was overwhelmed. So whether some one of those kids' life changes and catapults them to play basketball, fine. But I can absolutely tell you, there's going to be somebody in there that took his intrinsic message and will do better in life just because of that 1 hour visit. And oh, by the way, we plan on bringing Kyrie back. So I will tell you guys, no matter where you live and where you are, build it and they'll come. Put out a plea. Say that there's a need, which there's a need in every community throughout this world. And through success stories like mine's, right? People that just, Joe Blows or the Kyrie Irvings of the world, they will stop. They will pour into you. They will invest in you because they know where they came from. Oprah Winfrey said, I'll never, ever forget this. You'll never, ever, ever be fulfilled until you give. And she is so right. The times that I've had a plethora or excess money, that I've given it away to someone indigenous on the street, and then you pull down the street, you give them an envelope. I used to do this all the time. And you look back and you see a woman just start crying because she's walking in the street with her kids. I get more joy out of that than receiving a $25,000 check. It's just something. So, I encourage everyone, your problems are not your problems. It takes a village. We talked about that in the book as well. Like I said, I can go on and on and on, and it's coming from the heart. There is hope. That word hope, it's the same as love. They're both with 4 letters. You just can't get deterred. You just have to keep going forward.
Have to keep going forward. Matter of fact, Eric is jumping on that same thought. He's got something for you there, Bill. He says, that's a class act. That kind of stuff makes me a fan. I appreciate you saying that, Eric. Bill, that's for you, my friend.
Hey, Pax, you want to hear something funny about Bill, right? And this just hit me the other day. I talk about it in the book, but Bill has done everything in life with 5 fingers. Everything. And when they read the book, they will not believe it, but he did everything. But we went to, and I didn't tell Nancy about this, but I went home the other day, and it kind of, I went to Cleveland last month, and I was like, I felt bad because I'm sitting next to him. But we didn't joke about it, but I know I could. He picked a restaurant for us to meet up. We're doing a documentary on him too, right? So he picked a restaurant, and he picked a crab leg spot because I said, I want crab legs, man. I want crab legs. But I didn't think that Bill can't crack crab legs.
He's already starting to smile before you. He's shaking his
head. Because this dude, 90% of what he talk about is food, man. I'm just.
That's why. See, I'm not the only one that sees it too.
Right, but Pax, look.
Go ahead.
This dude can
crack him open. He crack him open. Huh?
He can dunk a basketball. He can throw a football. He can punt. But he can't crack open the doggone crab leg.
I thought you were gonna say he did. Oh, okay. He messing with you, man.
But I'm sitting next
that's
to him.
That's the human side.
Yeah, I'm sitting next to him, and I'm like, he told the lady, he told the waitress, hey, I can't crack. So what happened was they cracked him open. They took all the meat out for him, and we paid a little $5 extra. But I didn't think about, this is how I see Bill. When we go to him, we show up.
You didn't see your disability, man.
Yeah, I don't see his right arm. I'm like, I play with it, I grab on it, I touch it all my life, but I never saw it as a hindrance to him.
And here's something real, guys. Here's something real. This is the mental health side that you guys can take from this. Again, my story is real on what I thought about back at 5 years old. Here we are at a nice restaurant. Here we are, they're eating crabs. Why would I want to do something different just because I couldn't crack crab legs?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So what did I do? I ordered the crab legs and had them crack them for $5 extra
Yeah.
because I just wanted to be a part of. Take that another level. I can't tie a bow tie, but I just left from the Derby party. The guy who makes custom bow tie, he made the bow tie, he tied it himself and then put buttons on the back. So I didn't have to tie.
Check it out.
When I put on deodorant, it is the funniest SHIT in the world. I can take my left hand and put deodorant under my right arm.
Got it.
But I have had to learn to bend all the way over, make my wrist fold almost 90 degrees, and put deodorant on under my left arm with my left hand. My point is, guys, you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want to do. There is no, if you can't do it, pay somebody else to do it.
Right.
It can get done.
Yeah, and Pax, I tease Bill all the time. So Bill, I'm gonna tell you something. And he don't remember this, but I was right there. We were playing football, and this one kid just kept picking with him, and he had to show the kid, hey, I got one arm, but I can fight. We don't talk about it because Bill is not a bully at all. He's not a fighter. He don't pick fights. But if you do something to him, like yank his arm or smack him or something, you're gonna pay for it. And the one kid paid for it. And so that was like him establishing himself a long time ago before anybody started, hey, well, this guy got one arm, let's jump him. After that, it never happened. And so what he's telling you is it's just like, I was always impressed by him. And
there is one time, Doug. There is one time. Again, to the folks on this call, whether you believe it or not, Mike Tyson used to live in Cleveland, Ohio. And we're at this party. He happens to, I don't know, sit next to me. And, you know, yeah, he's a superstar, but I had seen him plenty of times. Mike said hi to me. And then I told him, which is a guy in the book, I said, Mike, you sparred with my boy Leroy. Mike Tyson grabbed my hand because it was sitting right next to his. He says, I love Leroy. I love Leroy. And he kissed my hand.
Wait, you're right.
Now, kiss my right hand. Now, what the hell am I supposed to do? A grown man kissed my hand, and it's Mike Tyson.
You didn't. Please, what'd you do?
I didn't do nothing. That was the one time.
I was going to say, what'd you do?
That's the one time I didn't do nothing.
Pulverized, my friend. You would have been pulverized. Check this out, everybody. Listening audience, here we go. Part of the presser. It says, a gripping tale of little kid navigating his way through life with great uncertainty, being counted out, doubted, and in some cases, made fun of. This autobiography will take you on a heart-wrenching and intense emotional roller coaster ride with unequivocal redemption. East Cleveland, huh?
Yeah. Born and raised. And we talk about another thing about the book that Bill mentions, is like very touching to me. It was touching, but it made it even more profound when he started saying that we talked about what we had as kids. And he doesn't remember teaching me how to play tennis. I went to his house after the first time I met him. I was scared, but after that, I was like, okay, it is what it is. He was telling me about Arthur Ashe back in, I think, the 70s, but he taught me how to play tennis. He don't remember this, but we talk about that too. But the things we had in East Cleveland where we grew up at, you know, we had Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, we had block parties, we had black businesses that were thriving. You know, we had a swimming pool that we frequented often. We had a YMCA. And the YMCA is it's a story in the book about Bill at the YMCA. But we had everything as kids. That's why we grew up as adults. Now, you know, we know who we are. We know what we had. And we know where we came from. We actually was raised in a village where his mother could slap the heck out of me or spank me. And if I did something at her house, and she would tell my mother she did it. So all the parents in our neighborhood stuck together. All the men in our neighborhood stuck together. We would read newspapers as kids. We had to read the yellow pages and find a number. We had to read encyclopedias. We had to hustle, sell bottles to make money to rake leaves and shovel snow. These kids are different, this generation. They're smart, but we come from really deep, dark, blue-collar families.
What makes you, as described in the presser, unstoppable? I hear the tone and the passion in Leon's voice. I hear it in yours. How can we pump that through the internet at this moment so that others can feel that sense of being unstoppable?
Yeah, that's easy, man. I mean, it's not like putting gas in a car, and when the gas is done, the car is done. The mind and the body will go until, you meet your maker. So with me, it's all about progress. It's about making the needle move, right? It's not about a trophy. It's not about a certain level. It's just a matter of keep getting better and keep moving forward, right? We talked about your back hurting and some people can't even get out of bed. Well, if you can't get out of bed, set your goal is to just sit upright. After you set the goal of sitting upright, I want to dangle my legs off of the side of the bed. After I do that, now I want to stand up. I may not can do nothing but just stand up, get tired, and get back in the bed. But I've set those goals, right? I've set those goals and I'm keeping pushing forward. And to me, at the end of the day, your body is going to allow you to do certain things. So where we just talked about, I couldn't, crack the crab legs. Okay, that's fine. Do I look at it as a defeatist situation? No. So if you're dealing with between your mind and your body can't do something, let your mind grow. Read more, right? What you can't do, here's something for you guys, a nugget. Give to somebody else.
Bingo.
Give to somebody else. Again, I talked about Oprah being fulfilled, helping somebody else out. Part of my joy, and this is true, when I couldn't play basketball no more, imagine that was what catapult and galvanized me to be who I am. Imagine I haven't played organized basketball in over 20 years.
Wow.
I still got my guys that playing 50 and older. And can you imagine? I don't even go to the gym because I'm heartbroken because I can't. Because of the surgeries in my left hand. I can't palm a ball. But guess what I've done for the last 20 years, guys?
What's that?
I got a Division I, 6'2", 290-pound son that plays at Pitt. And he is my joy.
Yeah.
So I live vicariously through him. So I'm not going to say God, I'm not going to say whatever. When I had to stop playing ball, it was perfect timing that my son was born 10/23/03. And for the last 20 years, I've been courtside. I've been at the field. I've watched him do miraculous things. And that has fulfilled me. So don't give up on yourself just because you can't do something. Go help somebody else, right? Sign up to be someone who goes and speaks to people.
Right.
Go feed the homeless. There's so much we can do. That's what mental health is. Mental intestinal fortitude. It's not all about what you can and what you can't do. We got 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. And we could use those 5 senses to help other people, or we can use them in different ways that you can no longer run fast and jump fast. You can use your mind to do whatever you want. Think about this platform now. Pax, hats off to you, brother. Look how many people you're reaching, and you're in a confined 4-wall area. You don't have to be all over California. You can plug in and you can empower people, and you can do exactly what we're doing this morning. So hats off to you too, brother.
Absolutely. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for doing that. Look, you got some love on the screen. I wanted you to take a look at this. Thank you for saying what you just said. Very encouraging. That's what we do here, you guys. Make sure you come back positive, informative, and encouraging. We always tell you that. But check out what Eric's saying to you, my friend. He's talking about, for real, depression can be tough if it's left unchecked. He says just taking a shower, man, is sometimes the best thing he can do. You can see what it says on the screen there. Mental health is a trip if we don't surrender.
There you go.
Way to go.
There you go.
Dropping the mic,
Don't
Eric.
give up.
Don't give up. I'm gonna read something else for you guys before we start heading out of here. You guys know how the channel goes. We pretty much are teasing you this morning because there's going to be another show. I will be so honored to have both of them come back, and we'll do a live podcast where you'll be able to see them. We just wanted to drop this with you before I read something to you guys, and then you can comment on it, Bill and Leon. When can everybody start to expect to put their hands on a book and a signed copy? I think you told me. Anybody want to go on that one?
Leon, take that.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Hey, Leon, stop
happens,
eating, man.
Right,
Hey, notice how he turned. Wait, notice how he turned this camera off so we can't see him.
Right. Right.
While
Go ahead.
Bill's talking junk, I only know about all the barbecue spots in Cleveland because of him. That's because
Oh,
of him.
he ratted you out.
Yeah.
Bill,
Man, that's because he won't finish writing a book unless I take him to eat. So I had to become.
It's one of those strong
Right.
arm tactics.
Right. So what happens is the book, we have two publishing companies. One is doing interior design, and they have it now. So they'll be finished with the interior design. We have 122 pictures in the book. Just so you know, the book is loaded with everything about Bill. So they have until like May 28th or maybe June 3rd, and then we will get the link and transfer it to another publishing company in Dallas. And they're going to be the ones that's going to print and distribute the book. So there will be a link coming from myself and Bill, and Pax, we'll give you the link too, where people can buy the book at.
Got it.
And it'll be out June 22nd. The price, I think, is going to be $22, something like that. It comes out June 22nd. Good. That's the book release party. It's June 22nd in Cleveland, Ohio, at Connect Lounge. So the book could possibly be out before that, hardcover, before June, and we'll talk about how to purchase it. Oh, there it is, Bill's Cash App. He can do pre-orders through his Cash App. So if you do decide to pre-order the book, send Bill your, not only the Cash App, but you can put a note in there with your address and name. And once the book comes in, he gets it in his hand, he'll start mailing them out.
Everybody, please make sure you get ready to put the pizza down in the month of June and get a copy of this signed copy. Do I say that right? Signed copy of Signed copy. So as you guys know, I tell you all the time, put the pizza down. Buy the book instead for your mental health.
Right.
Save your gut and instead expand your mind. Get the book. Fortify your heart. I'm looking at something I want to run past you real quick, Bill, before you go. It's a pretty extensive thing that's here, but I'm going to touch on it a little bit. 1985, Shaw High graduate. I see the picture here. 122 pictures. Did you say that, Leon?
Is that what
you said? Man, goodness gracious, you guys. All right, so here we go. 1997, 1978 was a time for you in the Little League Baseball. Let's see here. It says East Cleveland Cubs championship team. That looks like it started a trend because you just went on a tear of getting awards and
we did.
That's
they don't even
2 pages, 3
they
pages
don't
of
even
stuff I'm looking at here. You're a bad man.
They don't even play baseball in our communities anymore, and that's sad.
Crazy.
And it should be more prevalent. You know, dealing with concussions. I get it. Mothers don't want their kids to play basketball. You know, you're seeing people getting hurt, but we started with Little League Baseball. And who knows if we didn't have those programs where I would be now.
Yep.
You know, my mom was the same. You know, you only got one hand. I don't want you out there playing football and getting hurt, boy. And Leon will tell you, it quickly turned from my mother saying she didn't want me to get hurt to having other parents coming up to her saying, why is Bill always hurting my kid? And I wasn't doing anything dirty. I just played tough, wanted to be accepted. And I played like, you know, I wanted to be picked, like I said earlier. So I never had to sit on the porch because I had one arm. I never was limited. My mom, hats off to her. My grandmother, if I ever got in a fight, which wasn't a lot, they tell me to go back outside. Either you're going to deal with them or you're going to deal with me. That's the culture that we grew up in. So, you know, Little League Baseball back in the mid 70s and early 80s, that's all we had. And then that spurned into Pop Warner football and then basketball and then football in high school. But it started with Little League Baseball.
I'm looking at what we're talking about. Home Run King, team captain, championship team, top player award, 1979.
What year was that, Banks? Bill, with 79, you were what, 66, 13?
13.
Yeah. We're not even talking about the other awards. Defensive captain, 1978, 1979. Ohio State of Ohio Art Awards. I'm looking at this. I'm gonna read this to you. Earned 4 letters in football and basketball, 1983 to 1985. Your passion to not be on the sidelines has affected probably a lot of people that you have forgotten about or may never even meet.
Affected me. Bill, hey, Pax, one more thing. The high school we went to, I think Shaw High was open like the year 1838, and I'm saying that right. 1838, right? It was like a patch of land, about maybe 1 or 2 acres, that this couple had bought, the Shaw family. And so throughout Shaw, say it's been there, what's that, 1838 to what, 2024? What's that? How many years is that? 62,
A lot.
162, 270 years, right? So to my knowledge, as far as we know, Bill, since the school opened in the year 1838, Bill is probably the only student there that played dual sports with one arm, that started dual sports with one arm, and was the homecoming king, to my knowledge, since that school opened over 200 some years.
Wow.
And I can take it a step further. Jim Abbott went on to play with the Yankees. There was a kid, I can't think of his name, he played with the Seattle Seahawks. Then there's another kid, Emmanuel, who's playing basketball with just a little nub on his shoulder. So just like you just said, I've never met them. But when we did our research, some of these guys' stories started in the 2000s. I had been doing this stuff since 1966, 1970. So even though I didn't directly affect them through generations or hearing about other people, these folks who went on to make it to the pro level or do some things that I never did, it started somewhere, whether it was their parent, grandparent who played against me or heard about the story on TV, whatever it may be. I just take, I will pat myself on the back to say, who knows who it reached, right? Harriet Tubman and all of these stories about her courageous and what she did. People don't realize that the Martin Luther Kings and the abolitionists and the people that did greater things 100 years ago, they all came from one nucleus. It all started from one person. Am I that one person? I don't know. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But I will tell you that I was a pioneer. I will take that badge of honor. The stadium that he talked about, Shaw, and I've been touched by some things that are historic. Shaw High was the first, get this, out of the world, the first stadium that hosted an NFL team, the Rams. Babe Ruth played at League Park. John D. Rockefeller, the first millionaires, their first gas station is right there in East Cleveland, which I'm helping to do a $200 million development. So again, can't forget my dad, get this, guys, look it up. My dad was a mechanic for the 99th Squadron, the original group, Tuskegee Airmen. Imagine that.
Yep.
A heritage, a heritage of people who are not quitters. A lineage, a legacy.
Yeah.
Everybody, you're going to get a treat. Everybody, you're going to get a treat when we do a live podcast. Because listen, the stuff I'm reading right now, and viewers, some of you may be new, but you who are regularly here know I don't research and read somebody's entire book or other things before they come on. I'm reading this in real time. And captain of the defense, starting kicker, punter, Nate Thurman, MVP of the Nate Thurman tournament. I can just keep going some of this stuff I'm reading here. Your desire and passion to never, ever, ever quit. Where do you think you really got that from? Internal?
I'll sum it up better than that, man. Today is my anniversary, Alpha Phi Alpha, that I pledged 38 years ago. And one of the poems that I had to read, and man, you just teed this up so well. I don't have nothing written down or none of that. about never getting up and never quitting. It says, if you are beaten, you are. If you think you dare not, you don't. If you like to win but think you can't, it's almost a sense that you won't. If you think you're losing, you're lost. For out in the world we find success begins with the fellow's will. It's all in a state of mind. You see, life battles don't always go to the strongest or fastest man, but sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. There you go.
Yep. Spoke.
Pax, you over there crying? Come on, man. Don't be doing that.
Right?
This is what I'm doing right here. I was trying to tee it up while you were talking. I couldn't see the doggone button. I'll see the doggone button. No, not crying yet, man, but I'm telling you this much. Hopefully everybody can hear. I'm going to close this show out. I was trying to time that right. Let me tell you something, man. I can't wait to get you guys back. I can't wait to get you guys back. I'm able in real time to have, man, thank you, Eric. I see you writing. I'm going to put it up in a second. Bill, you're going to be able to look at the screen in a minute, but I'm going to say this before I put this up. Listen, everybody, this is what NATV, New Attitude TV, is all about. This is about you never, ever quitting. Ever. No matter what happens, no matter what has happened to you, no matter who you believe did it to you, never give up. Check it out, Bill. What's on the screen? Bill stands on the shoulders of giants.
Man.
Way to go, Eric. Nice words. And he got one more for you, my friend. He got another one for you. Watch out, world. He's calling you one of the real ones. Leon, nice job bringing this. Leon brought this to my attention. We were talking, Bill, and like with Leon, I am, Leon. I'm in, man. Leon got my back a lot of times. I got yours. We needed to be able to do this today for you guys and bring this in. We're going to end the show right now because I got to get back in the lab and start tearing this apart for a podcast show. Whenever you both are ready, you guys keep doing shows. I'm going to send some names your way of people that we're networking with and some platforms. You got things you guys are doing. Let's keep getting this mission and message out. If you feel alone, you feel like you're the only person, Bill, give them some words of advice before we head out here. And dude, I keep reading what I'm reading over here. I am going to start crying. Nancy's giving you some love. See on the screen real quick. Bill, give them some advice. And Nancy, give her some acknowledgement too.
Yeah, my advice is never try to be the smartest person in the room. Always be the humblest. Keep your networks and your friends close. All of this is a result of Leon pushing forward, talking to my mom, believing in me when I didn't even want the story told. A lot of times in life, guys, we come home, we get so regimented in what we want to do, and you have access to some of the best resources out there. And those are your true friends who don't care about being with you, regardless of your social status, regardless of your biblical beliefs. They're just friends that remember you when you were raw and uncut. And you need to let them pour into you as you pour into them. And everything else will manifest and take care of itself.
Dropping mics all over the place. Straight out of Ohio. Making Cleveland proud. Listen, you're making Shaw High proud, man. Mm-hmm. Making Shaw High proud. Leon, man, Bill, you should have heard Leon when he was telling me about you, man. That, you know what? You may have to take him to some real places because he's a PR dude, and you don't even have to PR me. That's right. What I do. And he was PRing me. I was going, okay, man. Okay. I was like, okay, man, I got you. He said, no, Pax, you got to do it, man. He's my brother. Pax, you got to do it. I was going like, dude, it's done. Consider it done already. And hopefully another podcast and some other things I'll throw your way. You guys, anytime you need a platform, come talk to our subscribers, members, and our viewers here on YouTube and some other places. You guys you're going to be everywhere on all of our platforms. But I love it. I told you ahead of time. You come out to Cali, we got you covered. We got you covered. Let's go. And Leon, you can pass on to him in private the time frame I think I mentioned to you before. Anyhow, you got a place out in California according to Leon, so you guys come on out. we'll go from there, and we'll do some live shows together and some live events. I really appreciate this. I am almost speechless, even though I'm running my mouth right now. I'm out of here, everybody. We'll see you guys later.
Right. Yep, later.
Leon, Bill, see you guys later. All right.
Take it easy.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank
Hey,
you.
much love for you, man.
All right.
Stay safe
later.
out there.
You know it.
Later,
All right.
Eric.
See you around
Andrew.
soon.